Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste everyone. We, Team Dandelions, covered an ancient Sri Kalbhairava temple located in Malur Road, Bangalore, Karnataka. According to one of the versions of the Kal Bhairav Jayanti Katha, Lord Shiva, who is hailed as Mahadev, appeared as Kal Bhairav to punish Lord Brahma. The main purpose of the emergence of Kal Bhairav is to eliminate arrogance, pride, and other vices that lead to one's downfall. Team Dandelions is fortunate enough to witness the Kumbhabhishekam held in the temple. Kumbhabhishekam is the process of performing the pujas on the idol deity to transform it into an all-powerful god, and it gets surrounded by vibrant positive energy. Mahakumbhabhishekam literally means ritualistic pouring of sacred water from the great vessel. Such abhishekam or ritualistic pouring of water dates back hundreds of years to post-Vedic times when temple rituals were formalized. During the Vedic period, deities were invoked and propitiated in great rituals of fire sacrifices such as yagnas and homas, which were performed in the open. After this period, when temples were built for different deities, the divine energy, spirit was invoked by appropriate homas and transferred into kumbha of brass or mud vessels containing the water of the holy rivers of Bharatvarsh by chanting mantras derived from the Vedas and Sanhitas. According to the tenets of Vedanta, the living being is a part of the supreme consciousness which embodies the origin, sustenance, and annihilation of the universe as we know it. It is beyond our human ability to comprehend this ultimate reality. The enlightened ones sometimes glimpse the ultimate through meditation. The ordinary human offers obeisance and worship to the best of his ability to the personification of this supreme being in the form of the deity in the temples. He consecrates the vigraha sculpted by the best artisan and installs it in the temple built in the best architectural tradition. Divine energy is endowed on the vigraha by single-minded performance of worship in the best ritualistic tradition. Through the continued performance of worship by numerous people over generations, the divine energy in each vigraha builds up, and the temple as a whole grows in spiritual status. These mantras consisted of prayers to different deities for the well-being of mankind, guidance in performing religious duties properly, and instruction in following the fourfold duties of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. After the vigrahas of the deities were installed, the energy in the water in the kumbhas was transferred to the vigraha in the temple by pouring the water on the gopuram, top of the temple tower, and on the vigraha of the deity. This pouring from the kumbhas was accompanied by the chanting of appropriate mantras derived from the Vedas, considered to be of divine origin. In the olden days, around 2000 years ago, there were kings known as Chola kings, and this temple is said to have been established by one of the Chola kings. The Chola king built 3 temples of Lord Kala Bhairava to safeguard his treasures. One is our Kala Bhairveshwara temple of Jadiganehalli, located in the Bangalore rural district. The second one is Siti Bhairveshwara temple, situated in Kolar, and the third temple of Bhairveshwara located in Tanjore, Tamil Nadu. This temple also has a sculpture of the Chola king carved in one of its walls, and it's found right here. Cholas ruled over Bangalore urban and Bangalore rural from 997 AD to 1398 AD. Hence the temple might have been constructed within this period, and not earlier or later than that. Fifth, from the left, is the Chola king. To the right of Chola king are his two ministers, and to his left is his Senadhipati, army general. Second, from the left is the queen, and on here either side is her two Sevakis. All of them were instrumental in building this holy temple. The pillar right in front of me depicts various sculptures, one of which is Kamadhenu, performing Abhishekam to Shiva Lingam from its milk. On the other side of this same pillar, a beautiful sculpture of Mahavishnu is carved. On this side of the pillar, an elephant performing Abhishekam with water to Shiva Linga is depicted. At the bottom of the same pillar, two devotees praying in Anjali Mudra, this shows their bhakti. In the same pillar, on the opposite side of the devotee's sculpture, is the image of Sri Ganpati. Out of the many forms of the Divine Mother, one of her forms is depicted in the same pillar, right next to Ganpati. Devi, in a unique seated posture, is depicted. This Divine Mother is Kshetrapalki. In this pillar we have Kalbhairav, one of the divine forms of Lord Shiva, holding Damru, Sarpa and Trishula is depicted. This is Anjaneya. This is Gaja Vahana. This is Veer Anjaneya. This is Kal Bhairav. This is Sim Vahan, a lion mount. This is one of Shiva's gun. This is Tada, Bhrungi. This is Jeti. A Jeti, Shiva's Gana with matted hair, doing bhajan and holding veena, an instrument. A Jeti, Shiva's gun with matted hair, doing bhajan and holding a damru. At the entrance of the Mulasthanam, Sanctum Sanctorum, are the Dwarpalkas, divine gatekeepers, namely Bhringi and Jati. Even in the Ardhamantapa, the same Dwarpalas are standing. In addition to the Dwarpalka at the entrance, two more forms are depicted. These forms are of the devotees paying their respects to the deity in Anjali Mudra performing Namaskaram. Namaskaram means the divine in me bows down to the divine in you. In this case, the divine in the devotee is bowing down to the divine deity. The Chola Maharaja constructed this temple for the protection of his treasures. At a depth of around 200 to 300 feet below, the Chola king has kept his treasures. At the surface, he has established the divine forms of Sri Kal Bhairav, Shivling and Dwarpalkas to safeguard his treasures. Many years after establishing this temple, a person named Malamma, who in her past life was doing tapasya, to marry Lord Kal Bhairav, was born. In her past life, as a result of her intense tapasya, Lord Kal Bhairav appeared and gave her a boon. Since Kal Bhairav was on the brahmachari path, the Lord granted another similar boon. The boon was that people must worship her, along with Lord Kal Bhairav, as his sister, in her next life. After Malamma was born, initially, she was not aware of her past life. She grew up, got married, and had a child. She went to her mother's home with her newborn child, accompanied by her brother. While returning to her home, she happens to pass by this Kal Bhairav temple. As soon as Malamma was near the temple, she started getting glimpses of her past life, and eventually, her entire past life flashed. She got to know about her birth's true purpose. After realizing her past life near the temple, she hands over her child to her brother and tells him that she wants to take a bath in this temple's pond. After taking a bath in the temple's pond, she then entered the temple and had darshan of Lord Kal Bhairav. As per her past life tapasya's boon, she turns into a stone idol right next to the temple lord. Malamma's brother, who was patiently waiting for her outside the temple with her child, decides to enter the temple. After entering the temple, she was nowhere. In despair, he said, "O Malamma, what should I do with this child, who is seeking its mother?" From the inner sanctum, he heard a female voice, which guided him to leave the child in front of the idol, turn around, and not to look back, and head towards his home. Her brother followed the same, Mother Malamma, and her child turned into a divine idol right next to Lord Kal Bhairav. From that day onwards, people have worshipped Kal Bhairav, as well as Malamma, in this holy temple. This is the story of Kal Bhairav and his sister Malamma of Jadiganehalli. Along with our Kal Bhairav temple, other temples of Jadiganehalli unitedly perform certain pujas and rituals called jatre. This jatre, or procession, is done once in 12 years, and all the other temples of Jadiganehalli take part in it. There is this village deity known as Karga Parmeshwari. Only once in 12 years, Abhishekam and flowers, specifically jasmine, are offered to her. Once Abhishekam and jasmine decoration is done, a procession throughout Jadiganehalli, and she reaches our Kal Bhairav temple. Pujas are performed to her in our temple only after taking back to her temple. This same process continues for one whole month, that is, from one new moon day to another new moon day, Amavasya. A total of 12 villages take part in this procession. On the last day, we take her to this hill, known as Saptamatrika Betta. Here, Saptamatrika and Lord Jada Munshwara's temple is located. After witnessing the puja on that hill, she finally returns to her temple. Out of these two goddesses, one of them is married, the other one is not married. One of the main customs in the generation, which belongs to Tamtaraya, will perform puja with flowers and fruits. Post performing the puja, they bring flowers and fruits to Kal Bhairav temple. Like this, they do it from one new moon to the next new moon, approximately for a month. This elaborated festival happens every 12 years, and 12 village people arrange this festival. Newly married couples will light lamps here. Jadiganehalli village, named after a holy lord known as Jada Munishwara, is located on Saptamatrika hill. Along with Karga Parmeshwari, there are other village deities and temples as well. Gudidamma, Yellamma, Anjane, Chandramaleshwara, Basveshwara and Muneshwara are the other village deities of Jadigainhalli. Each of these temples has its Utsavamurti, taken out in procession on this Jatre, conducted once in 12 years. Apart from the 12-year procession, yearly processions are also conducted. Yearly processions start on every Yugadi and end on Ram Navami. Both Gudidamma and Yellamma are taken to a hill known as Saptamatrika Betta on Yugadi, and they are worshipped on that hill until Rama Navami. After that, both the deities are taken on a procession around the village, finally reaching back to their respective temples. This is Kal Bhairav, Malamma, Karga Parmeshwari, Chandramaleshwara, Munishwara, Gudidamma, Yellamma, and Saptamatrika, Betta of Jadigainhalli. All the pujas and processions performed in this village to these deities are performed with utmost devotion in old traditional procedure, keeping the old sampradaya intact. I kindly request you to spread this information for the benefit of one and all. Thank you. Let us take a tour of the temple. On the outer walls of the temple, images of many fishes, known as Matsya in Sanskrit, have been carved. These fishes indicate the direction where the treasure is located. At the entrance of the temple, we can see two divine gatekeepers. In Mahavishnu temples, they are Jaya and Vijaya, but in this temple of Kal Bhairav, they are known as Bhringi and Jeti. In Dvajasthama, we have Trishula, Ganapati, Chakra and Ishvara on its four sides. If we look further ahead, there is another pillar. Either it was an unfinished pillar from the start or destroyed in the olden days. There are multiple snakes, specifically cobras, protecting the treasure so that none can go near it. Hence, the image of snakes is carved on the outer walls of the temple. One snake, one elephant, and two fish images are carved on this side of the wall. This is the back portion of the Garbhagriha. The foundation of Garbhagriha is said to be covered with one large slab of a rock. We have one elephant, one fish, two snakes, and a tortoise carved out on this side of the wall. All these are indications of a treasure. We have been performing puja in this temple to Lord Kal Bhairav from my great-grandfather's time, and this temple has thousands of years of history attached to it. The most auspicious time to perform puja to Kal Bhairav is during Rahu Kal, and the most auspicious day is Ashtami. It is destructive of all kinds of doshas and sins. There are 8 forms of Bhairavas known as Ashta Bhairavas, and all of them are worshipped on Ashtami or Rahu Kalam. The Ashtami is widely known as Kal Ashtami and Kal Bhairava Ashtami. There is also Kal Bhairava Jayanti. There are 8 forms of Kal Bhairavas, and they are known as Ashta Bhairavas. The 8 names of Kal Bhairava are Asithanga Bhairava, Chanda Bhairava, Kapala Bhairava, Krodha Bhairava, Unmatta Bhairava, Bhishna Bhairvar, Ruru Bhairava and Samhara Bhairava. It is the day on which Lord Kal Bhairav made his divine appearance. Worshipping Kal Bhairav on these days yields immeasurable benefits, helps to get rid of diseases. The Ashtami widely known as Kal Ashtami and Kala Bhairav Ashtami. There is also Kal Bhairav Jayanti. I request everyone to visit and worship Kal Bhairav on Ashtami and obtain his grace. I pray to Lord Kal Bhairav to shower grace on everyone. This is Ishvara, this here is Nandi. Here is Malamma and his son. This is Lord Kal Bhairav. He has Damru in his right hand, in his other right hand is Trishula. He has matted hair, because of which he is known as Jatadhari. He has Pasha in his left hand, in his other left hand is Kapala. Below the Kapala, you can notice snakes. Our Kala Bhairava image is not accompanied by his Shwana Vahana, mount of a dog. Because of that, you can call him Kapala Bhairava as well. Since Kala Bhairava has been in use from the olden days, we worship him with that name. Kalbhairava is on top of a single stone slab. Exactly underneath this slab, at an unknown depth, is said to be the treasures buried by the Chola king. This is Ganpati. Dwarpalka Bhutraya. His Ayudha is similar to that of Kala Bhairava. He has Trishula, Damru, raised finger, and Gadai. Gadayudha is wound by snakes, and so are both his ears. Dwarpalka Bhutraksha. He has Trishula, Damru, Gada with a Sarpa, and Sarpa Kundala earrings. Wherever Lord Shiva is located, his Dwarpalka Devtas will be ever present.
त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।